the podcaster that's here. What will social media look like by the end of the year? Well, today Dan and Lloyd talk about a comprehensive report from Talkwalker and HubSpot predicting trends from the ever-changing world of social media. And Dan and Lloyd have a few bold predictions of their own.
Happy to make some predictions.
Yeah.
So then I can be like Gary V
And do another video.
Like in 10 years, I'll be like,
I said this in 2022. It will be a success.
but obviously in Gary V's voice.
We'll hear about TikTok spreading their net even wider. And we'll also hear about the seemingly inevitable rise of the metaverse.
I don't think it's a huge step from what we're doing now. The big step is like the laptop's on your face.
Yeah.
For more on the report discussed here, you can go to talkwalker.com/social-media-trends. That's talkwalker.com/social-media-trends. Right, let's get on with the show. This is episode 78 of the Business Anchors podcast.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
So Dan, get your crystal ball out, your marketing crystal ball. What's coming for marketing in 2022?
Well, Lloyd, funnily enough,
No, get your crystal ball out then.
yeah, I've just got it out. Okay.
Where?
It's in front of me, Lloyd. The listeners, they can't see.
Oh.
The people watching can.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah, there.
Oh, right.
So what I can see is
Is that a marketing one in particular?
yeah, a
Okay.
marketing crystal ball. What I can
Right.
see is a really comprehensive report that Talkwalker and HubSpot actually produced, and they included insights from some of the biggest marketing experts in the world.
Right.
And I feel like there's lots of that we're going to share in this
Oh, it's
podcast.
quite a boring crystal ball then.
No, it's actually
No.
really interesting.
Oh,
Lloyd.
right.
There's
okay.
lots of interesting things we can talk about.
Oh.
And they actually included me in it as well.
Oh, definitely not boring then.
So, no, in all honesty, it's a really good, it's called like Social Media Trends Report 2022. And you can download it for free at talkwalker.com/social-media-trends. And it's a free report. It's, got insights and predictions from a whole range of really brilliant marketers and me. And in this podcast, I thought it'd be good to just highlight some of the key kind of insights that they share in there, just so that all the listeners are up to date with what's going on in the
Great.
social media world.
So if you're interested in business, marketing or social media, this is the perfect episode for you to plug into, enjoy, and really learn some great stuff that will help you in 2022.
Exactly.
God, brilliant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we go into these really great insights from this really comprehensive report,
Yeah.
do you have any like predictions or things? Are you a big predictor of stuff or
Social media.
yeah, social media?
Am I a big predictor? I don't think I necessarily have a reputation of being a big predictor. But
Lloyd, big predictor, Nelson.
yeah. You know what they said? Do you know Lloyd? No. Oh yeah, that big guy, big predictor. Yeah. But happy to make some predictions.
Yeah.
So then I can be like Gary V
And do another video.
Like in 10 years, I'll be like,
I said this in 2022. It will be a success.
but obviously in Gary V's voice, not in that weird
Yeah.
one. So shall I make some predictions?
Yeah, go on. Let's hear
Okay.
what you thinking.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
TikTok will continue to take over everyone's lives and be the main social platform for the world.
Yeah. It's scary how much it manipulates you to just keep watching it.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that's a good prediction.
That's why I'm saying it. Like I see myself and others and the amount of time people are on it.
It's scary.
It's happened to me and I'm trying to fight it. So I think it's happening to lots of people, and the more and more, and it's starting to get rid of that reputation of, oh, it's for young people, and the
Dancing.
reputation of, oh, it's just people dancing and lip syncing. I think this year has been the transition of people still saying that, and towards the end of the year, I'm not hearing that anymore. And even in business, people aren't saying like, well, do you think we should be on TikTok? Isn't that all for young people? They're just like, yeah, we need to be on TikTok
Yeah.
now. So that's one. I personally think LinkedIn massively need to up their game if they want to stay relevant. I think I don't see currently like a competitor of LinkedIn for like business social side, but I think there was a
Seems to be
time
slow.
when content was on LinkedIn was really improved. I think 2020, 2021, where or sort of the beginning of 2021, that it seems like there was better quality stuff on there, and I feel like it's dropped again, and it's just uninteresting and lazy. And I don't think there's enough there to attract people to use the platform regularly.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'd say maybe not as extreme as that, but I like trying to analyze my own LinkedIn, the way I use it. I'm not enjoying scrolling and consuming content as much.
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok, it's brilliant because it's manipulating me with all the brilliant content. Whereas LinkedIn, I think you are right. There's definitely good stuff happening, but I don't get as much of a buzz like, oh, there's this brilliant thing. Oh.
I think the overall quality of what's in my LinkedIn feed isn't good enough to keep me like wanting to come back to the app or the website.
Do you know what some may say to you? That's your own fault because you're not getting rid of people who are posting rubbish content and you're not following new people who are creating good content.
But if I, as a user, have to go through this elaborate process to make it a good thing,
that's another more friction.
So do millions of people, and they won't. So I think the platform and the algorithm and all that jazz need to adapt, because if you're relying on users to make changes to make the platform good solely, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that's also like for us as an agency, a lot of our work comes from LinkedIn, so it's something we need to keep an eye on. And also, like, diversify where we're getting business from.
But that's kind of my point. I think it's too easy to be good,
which
at
is
LinkedIn,
good for us.
Which is good for us. Like the bar. I'm not downplaying like us, but other like to get through to loads of people on TikTok in a meaningful way and get business leads and stuff would be much harder because there's so much competition of stuff that people want to consume. Whereas LinkedIn, I still think there's not enough really great stuff on there. I think everyone needs to up their game and the platform. Personally, I just think for it to have longevity for the next decade and beyond.
I also think there's a lot of manipulation of the platform as well with the whole pod thing of people like getting in a group and then all commenting on each other's stuff, and then that feeds the algorithm, and then you always see the same people's posts with their mates saying, this is a good post. And there's still a lot of that going on, whereas I feel like other platforms, that's not happening as much.
So they're just my two things then. TikTok, boom, everyone is on it and doesn't ever look at anything else. And I think, like I said, I really think LinkedIn needs to improve if it's going to stick around for the next 10 years.
Why?
But as my boring predictions, what about you?
So, just off the top of my head, this isn't the exact quote that I used for the report or anything, but the continued rise of TikTok is unquestionable. So you actually copied my idea.
Right.
The platform offers such a low barrier to entry when it comes to producing creative, bite-sized video content, whilst offering the opportunity of huge organic reach and engagement. So I think in terms of like the barrier to entry to create content on LinkedIn, on TikTok is you need a phone. You don't need a huge amount of production skills and knowing how to use a camera. It's literally people just it's similar to like, it reminds me of the early days of Insta stories and Snapchat when before to make a video, you had to kind of know what you were doing with, whereas now you can produce much lower kind of produce content. Some of the TikTok videos I've shared on LinkedIn have helped generate hundreds of thousands of revenue for our video and social media marketing agency. So we found that some of them, our most effective videos on LinkedIn have been TikTok videos that have been repurposed. So one of the questions, I recently did a live Q&A with HubSpot and TalkWalker talking about this. And one of the questions they said was like, is TikTok a B2B platform? And I was like, currently, no, I don't think it is. But there's creative ways currently you can use it to gain value as a B2B business. For example, how we've done it is producing creative TikTok videos and then posting them on LinkedIn. Like one of our semi-viral videos was, remember when we won a really big deal and I made a video where we it captured us hugging and it was the music and stuff, which sounds really weird, but that did really well.
I guess this is what I was saying about TikTok smashing it and LinkedIn not being good though. So the same content we have taken from TikTok, where it's done all right, put it on LinkedIn, and it smashed it because the competition is so much lower of good quality content.
And one of our biggest Knowlton secrets, okay, and this is one of our biggest Knowlton secrets for having success on LinkedIn and where we get our ideas from. We get a lot of our creative inspiration from TikTok and then utilize that inspiration to come up with our own creative concepts. That's how we've done a lot of our creative, entertaining content. We get lots of ideas.
That shows where the creativity is at the moment, though. In at the end of 2021 and going into 2022, if we're finding we're getting creative inspiration through TikTok, and then we're using that to do stuff on other platforms, I think that really tells the story.
We're not going to LinkedIn for inspiration, are we?
As a business as well, we're not saying as a girl lip syncing to videos, which is what everyone seems to think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting great inspiration for what to lip sync to. We're saying as a B2B business, we're getting our inspiration for our content to help us grow our business and win business from TikTok.
And I'll give you a specific example now. So we're being specific with this.
Thank you.
A recent example, actually. So a recent video we produced that I actually reposted the other day was a video kind of poking fun at LinkedIn influencers, inverted commas, when those elaborate stories. If anyone's listening and they're on LinkedIn, people post these elaborate stories where they say, like, I was on the way to a job interview and I saw a dog outside and I gave it some money, and then I found out the dog was interviewing me for like elaborate made up stories, basically.
Yeah.
So I saw a video of a guy basically taking the piss on TikTok, like kind of this really elaborate story, and I thought, we could do a really funny version of this. So then we scripted our own version, which was
it's interesting
really
as well with the kind of limitations of the TikTok platform. There's really great ideas that have been done simply, and I guess on other platforms we can flesh them out more and build on that. So if we're going to post a more highly produced video that's like 2 minutes long, we can build on the creativity that has inspired us from a short form video that's shot on a phone.
That's a really good point. And from a strategic point of view, we can then take those kind of TikTok style videos and trends and then sprinkle our strategic showing credibility, demonstrating we're good at what we do, and that kind of thing within a video to make it like more of a marketing tool than just a funny video. That's how we kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
So that was mine. In this report, which honestly I really recommend everyone should download, there was like 10 key themes that these experts around the world have. Their process is to reach out to a load of marketing experts, ask them for their predictions, and then they produce these themes from the responses from these marketing experts. Right. And they've done surveys and stuff. So I'll let you know the 10 themes, and then we'll dive into a couple of them and just have a... So the first one, Lloyd, is actually in line with what you and I said. TikTok will take over social media, leaving other platforms to adapt. So it's not just us that was saying this. Like multiple people must have said this for them to actually have a theme on it. The second one, social ads will develop as cookies get crunched. Obviously, like the iOS 14 updates have happened, and that's caused a big stir in the ads world. So that's something that's going to change. The next one, social selling will simplify the customer journey. Interesting.
Okay.
The next one, post-pandemic content will shape up to consumer needs. Number 5, omni-channel engagement will change the way consumers engage with social media. Number 6, maturing influencer marketing will finally come of age. It's really interesting how different these themes are. Like they've gone to a whole range of different experts. Number 7, brands will lead in social media decentralization. Number 8, the metaverse will be the next consumer connection. I think we've seen a lot of changes in that, like Facebook changing their name to Meta and lots of interesting things happening there. Number 9, brand inclusivity will be brand critical. And number 10, communities will develop and take control. Consumers have a choice.
Are you all right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some really interesting. I think what's interesting is the TikTok thing that we've said. Did you know, in terms of the speed of a platform getting to 1 billion monthly active users, where do you think TikTok comes compared to all of the other platforms?
I imagine as you're bringing this up as a question, It will either be the slowest or fastest. And
Well, not necessarily.
oh, okay, but I would say quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, out of Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, WeChat, TikTok, and Facebook Messenger, TikTok was the second quickest platform to get to 1 billion monthly active users, and it took them 5.1 years.
What was the first?
Facebook Messenger with 4 years, but that's cheating because Facebook's already
that's cheating.
got 2 billion.
Mark
plus users.
Zuckerberg cheating.
But it took, how long do you think it took Facebook to get to 1 billion monthly active users?
8.7 years.
Yeah, because you're looking at my notes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, which is interesting. Like, and it's like we've seen the fast rise of TikTok. I remember when TikTok used to be Musically, and then it changed to TikTok. But in the Musically days, like no one in business was looking at it like that's something that we can use in the future. It was just people dancing and doing,
From the work we've done as well and the data, the cost per click you can get from TikTok is much cheaper than currently achievable on a platform like LinkedIn or Instagram.
Yeah.
On average. And I think people haven't caught on to that. People are still, and even when you say that, cost per click is cheap, and they're like, oh yeah, but what is it? What, girls lip syncing? Like, no, Martin, stop saying that. It's not relevant to everything we say about TikTok.
Yeah.
People that are clicking on ads to buy a product or a service, it's cheaper to get them to your website from TikTok than most of these other platforms. Surely that is going to drive so much more attention in the next year or so towards TikTok.
And also in terms of like organic, so that's like paid stuff, organically being able to go semi-viral or reach a huge audience, we've proven how this is possible. We've run client campaigns. When you produce enough variety of content on TikTok, something is going to pop.
Yeah.
Even recently on our Knowlton TikTok,
Yeah.
we set Yaz a challenge of make us go viral within a month. And
Yeah.
she did it.
Yeah.
We got like 250,000, or like, I don't know what you class as viral now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's semi-viral.
Viral doesn't mean anything really.
No.
You can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with our client, our first client that we went big on TikTok on and had it as the main focus for the entire campaign. We had, when we were starting out, we had TikToks that were getting like 150 views. And then the next one would get 250,000. And then the next one would get like 4,000.
Yeah.
And then we had one with over 1 million, in the first like couple of months of that campaign. So like you said, if you're doing enough, trying enough, testing enough, there's the ability there to reach a huge amount of people without spending anything necessarily.
It's that variety as well. Another one of the other themes that I find really interesting, and we're definitely no experts in this at all. So
speak for yourself. I'm pretty much an expert in most things.
The metaverse.
Oh yeah, yeah. Me and Zucks have had a few chats about it.
But I think what's really interesting when like you think about the metaverse, which is basically a virtual world. Like imagine this, but it's like VR, but more advanced. So imagine in 20 years. We wake up, rather than going to work, we just plug into the metaverse and we work from our office in the metaverse. We go for lunch with our friends in the metaverse. I don't necessarily personally feel like this is a good thing. I don't know, like imagine us, everyone's sort of going on about the metaverse. Yeah, we can be in this virtual world, and imagine like you barely see anyone in real life because it's so advanced that you just plug into your head. Do you think that's a good thing?
I don't think it's a good or a bad thing. I think this is something we constantly, as humans, fall into with new technology and new things. We're like, right, there's 2 boxes. Which one's it going in?
Yeah.
Is it good or bad? And I think at the moment you've got, it's very polarized. You've got people hugely excited by the metaverse. Like this is a whole new revolution of like how the world's going to be. And then people, I suppose, like you, but an exaggerated version. What, you're not going to see any real people?
Yeah.
Great. What, you're just going to put a headset on and watch girls lip syncing, are you? No, Martin. That was TikTok. And I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. I think it's hugely polarizing because it seems like such a big change. Like, I suppose, like you're saying, it goes from 0 to what? So
Yeah.
we're gonna put that on, be there all day, not see any real people. I think the reality is, just like our screen time on our phones. So I don't know what yours is. I don't know what mine is at the moment, but I know that people are spending hours on average daily on their phones, and there's some real positives to that, and there's some real negatives. I can be WhatsApping my grandma who lives in Spain, and we've got that connection. Also, I'm scrolling on TikTok for an hour rather than playing with my child. Negative. So I think it's not. So that isn't good. It's not black or white. Bad, and you have people that are polarized on that. Oh, staring at your phones. It's the worst thing ever. And I think it's the same with it will be the same with the metaverse. It's not just good or bad, but we feel like we have to make it one of those. I think it will be bad if your metaverse screen time is all your life, just like if you're on your phone all your life.
Yeah, we'll never see you again, Lloyd, will we? You'll be watching those girls lip syncing in the metaverse.
Cheers, Martin. And it will probably be bad if in a decade's time you are refusing to enter the metaverse. Yeah. Because you'll be you'll lose job opportunities, you'll lose social opportunities, you lose opportunities to learn. So I think both ends of the spectrum, if you're polarized, will be negative.
I also think a lot of people, this whole theory of the metaverse, like what we've just described, you wake up, you plug yourself in all day, then I think a lot of people are skeptical that people would even do that.
But I don't think it's a huge step from what we're doing now. Like we're right now, so we're moving to this thing of so many people working from home. So you're working on a laptop or you're looking at your phone. Yeah. Right?
You're not really in the real world.
People are doing that. Some people if you think average screen time and time on the laptop working from home, over 12 hours. Yeah. Because you're 8-hour working day on that screen. It's just a different 4 hours
platform,
on that one. And like, it's not really a huge step. The big step is like the laptop's on your face. Yeah. Like that's, but do you see what I mean? Like we're already in this zone where, I'm not going to the office. Yeah. I'm not meeting my friend for lunch. I'm having a Zoom call and I'm on WhatsApp with my friend. Like the big change is that's just a bit more permanent. Like it's on your eyes and you're in a virtual environment rather than video calling.
And also there's clues. Device. There's clues in humans' current behavior to show how they're already embracing this kind of thing. If you think of Fortnite, right? Fortnite is is like a digital game where you're in a digital world. Has more active users and people doing it than playing football in real life. So I looked up, there's like 350 million people playing Fortnite and 265 million people play football in real life.
American football or soccer?
Soccer.
Okay.
If you also think about, eventually people are going to, there's people buying property in the metaverse. You're going to have a character that you want people to perceive in a certain way. So you're going to buy skins and stuff. If you imagine like Fortnite, you can buy skins and gaming, you can buy clothes and things. People are already spending money on like face tuning apps for Insta to make them look a certain way so that they perceive in a certain way. All of these signs are showing that when it just changes to, it's same as like looking at your phone or your screen, but you're plugged in. People are it's not going to be as big a step as you think.
I think it's a smaller step than people are making it out. It's like, and I do think it is going to have a huge impact. But people think it's this new thing where, like you're saying, there's been signs over the last 10 years that are moving towards that kind of thing. Yeah. I think one challenge, and I think something that will be exaggerated as a challenge. So as Web 2.0 of social media and platforms came into place, you've got this online, the first time you kind of had an online life and an offline life. Before, when it was just like, I'm just on Ask Jeeves and reading blogs. That wasn't kind of a life. That was just it was like a tool I used. And people get overwhelmed and suffer mentally from trying to keep up this online persona and also dealing with things in their offline life. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of people and people feel pressured. I think this may exaggerate that. Like, if I'm like trying to think, right, I need to be a better husband and a father and
in the real world
playing with my son and I've got to paint that room and because that will make my wife really happy and then also you're like, I've also got to help my mate build his virtual house. And I said I'd give him a hand. I think you're going to have like the pressure of 2 lives.
Yeah.
And trying to keep up appearances and like keep people happy in both those lives. And I think that's going to be a challenge in the future. And I think one of those is going to fall by the wayside. It's going to be hard to be the best you can be in both worlds.
Like you said, I think it's going to bring a lot of good and a lot of bad to the world. Same as social media.
Yeah.
You know, all the amazing things.
So don't just try and put it in the good or bad box. It's going to be both. I think I'm just not sure on the split yet.
Yeah.
And I think we never will know. Like social media, there's still the argument. So when was like Facebook? 2005, 2007, something, I don't know, something like that. We're still arguing now whether social media is a good or a bad thing overall.
It's both.
And everyone has their own opinions. I think we have to accept that the metaverse will be both. We just don't quite know yet.
Cool. Well, there's lots.
That was a much better conversation about the metaverse than I thought we had.
So I think just in summary, I really would recommend everyone going and downloading this free report that has all of this and more in detail with loads of opinions from lots of clever people. So it's talkwalker.com/social-media-trends. And yeah, it's just a really comprehensive report that's going to help put you ahead of the game when it comes to thinking about what's going to be happening this year in the social media space.
Great. I really enjoyed. I haven't spoken to you about the metaverse in our real life outside the podcast. Well, that was interesting getting into that. So now we just have to wait and see in a year's time, 5 years' time, if we can go back to these clips.
Yeah. Because this podcast may be in the... I mean, you could make a podcast. I've seen agencies, actually. There's a guy I met at Agencynomics that their agency is he did a presentation in the metaverse.
Yeah. Well, I think without a doubt, in the future, we'll be doing... I don't know if we'll call it a podcast. Might be like a Zodcast or a better name. And like our listeners and viewers will be sat here next to us and looking at both of us. And potentially it's live and we have... Anyway, there's so much opportunity and so many things. There's too much opportunity currently for us to work out what that's going to be. But it's going to be really interesting to see over the next few years. Great.
Cool. So thanks for listening, guys. And we will see you in your ears next week.
See you in your ears next week.
Bye.
Bye.